It's coming up on Christmas and the time of year when goodwill abounds all around. We encourage you to have that same spirit all through the year. Welcome to this Tuesday edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Today we share how government remains committed to the poor and marginalized through programs such as the Poor Relief and Land Titling initiatives. Also in the package,
A lot of food. The house, the house we always look forward to. There are a lot of changes, like at Christmas time, paint up, new curtains, new clothes, church.
everyday Jamaicans reflect on their favorite Christmas memories. Wonder what's yours? Think about that as we start off with this message.
Driver, slow down and stop the reckless overtaking, no?
You never hear so time is money.
Easy driver. Well, no mean must man and taxi driver drive so bad.
Why him have to drive so hard? Me not gonna make you kill off me and me picnic them.
One stop driver. Make her come off this bus. Me say stop.
Me coming with you. The rest I will not take chance in the life. Lord of mercy. That could have been us.
And look how we want the money.
Passengers, your safety is in your hands. Say one-stop driver and get off if the driver is speeding, overtaking recklessly, and not obeying the rules of the road. Don't give away your life. It is too precious.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, December 8th. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller is attributing major improvements in the ease of doing business to far-reaching legislation enacted by government to support economic growth. She says the National Competitiveness Council continues to drive reforms towards making it easier to start a business, access credit and pay taxes. The Commercial Court has also been strengthened to improve contract enforcement and investor protection.
The facts and data are there to show that as a government, we have made the right choices for the Jamaican economy and for the growth of businesses.
The Prime Minister was speaking recently at the 40th anniversary banquet of the Small Business Association of Jamaica. Jamaica has renewed its bilateral partnership with the Republic of Cuba for the provision of technical support to the health sector.
I hope all those Jamaicans who have benefited from this program will understand that it is part of the cooperation between two countries, two neighbors, to ensure that our people get the best health care.
Health Minister Horace Daly and Cuba's ambassador to Jamaica, His Excellency Bernardo Guante Hernandez, signed two agreements on December 3 for the cooperation to continue. One of the agreements will see Jamaica benefiting from Cuban biomedical experts. The other will facilitate ongoing support for the Ophthalmology Center at St. Joseph's Hospital to provide ongoing eye care, particularly screening and surgeries for diseases such as cataracts.
We would like to ratify our willingness to continue developing the collaboration with the brothers people of Jamaica.
The Agriculture Ministry will be issuing water tanks, fertilizers, seeds and spray materials to farmers in St. Anne in the coming weeks. This is part of efforts to sustain production among farmers in drought-affected areas of the parish. Agriculture Minister Derek Kellier made the announcement as he toured some of the drought-affected farms recently. He indicated that with increased focus on the export market, more support would be given to agricultural production. Minister Kellier also urged farmers to step up production of the 52 food crops that had already received pre-clearance status for exportation to the United States, Europe and other markets.
And I've given instructions that the RAD officers must get that list out to the farmers and every farming community.
Newly appointed political ombudsman Donna Parchment Brown has promised to meet with key political and civic stakeholders as she charts the future impact of her office. Mrs. Parchment Brown was speaking on Sunday during JIS TV's Issues and Answers program. She told Ian Boyne that she would be meeting with the leaders of the two main political parties and other key stakeholders of the Electoral Commission of Jamaica by year end.
What I'd like to do is sit with the Prime Minister and the leader of the parliamentary opposition individually and hear their thoughts about the office, hear their concerns about the carrying out of the political function, particularly in the party sense, the competitive sense.
Mrs. Parchment-Brown said also that the meetings would be used to emphasize adherence to the Political Code of Conduct, first signed in 2002. The new political ombudsman received her appointment on November 16, succeeding Bishop Harold Blair. The National Youth Service and Montego Bay Community College have signed a memorandum of understanding to offset tuition fees for some students. Under the agreement, needy students will receive up to $100,000. They will also be able to get a 20% reduction in tuition fees through their participation in a work-study program administered by the college. Awardees are required to maintain a grade point average of 3.0 in order to retain their scholarships. Industry State Minister Sharon Folks Abrams, who represented Youth Minister Lisa Hanna, said it was a great opportunity for students.
There will be workshops on personal development, work experience, and also you will be provided with participation in the summer projects as well.
And finally, a 3-week, $12.4 million road patching and sidewalk improvement project is scheduled to begin tomorrow in parts of the Kingston metropolitan region. The project involves the repair of 1,200 square meters of sidewalks in New Kingston and Stony Hill. The Brandon Hill Main Road in St. Andrew and the section of road between Grants Bend and Golden Grove in St. Thomas will also be patched. The National Works Agency says the project is being funded by its Capital A budget and the Tourism Enhancement Fund. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thank you for watching.
This is my appeal, Jamaica. Give blood for it.
Give blood and give the gift of life. So safe you don't have to think twice.
For real.
Do what you can for one another.
Yeah, man.
Be a hero, be a blood donor.
Yeah, me people. Watch it. Give blood. For your sister and your brother, save the life of another. You might never know.
Give blood.
Cause you love a life, you love many people want blood. The Father says so.
One blood.
Sign up today. Be a blood donor. Many people. One blood.
This time of year, we see more companies and individuals taking special care of the poor and vulnerable, and we applaud and encourage such initiatives. The government, however, continues to make such persons a priority, and through programs at the local level, each one continues to reach one.
This is a typical Tuesday afternoon for volunteers from the Clarendon Poor Relief Department, combing the streets of the Maypen town, ensuring that homeless persons are given a hot meal. It's just one of the services offered to the poor and destitute, not only in Clarendon, but island-wide. The duty to support the welfare of the nation's poor falls within the Board of Supervision, an agency under the Ministry of Local Government. In each parish, programs are coordinated by the parish councils and the poor relief departments.
We really supervise homeless programs across the island, working with parish councils and also NGOs who deliver services to those who are homeless. We want to ensure that these services are delivered in the acceptable standard, that persons are rehabilitated and are able to contribute to community development.
Working with state and private sector partners, administrators at the Board of Supervision try to provide relief to the homeless, residents of infirmaries and persons living in substandard conditions at personal residences.
We have outdoor persons on the outdoor, persons who we actually assist, and they live in their communities. They need food, they need medical attention and housing and assistance for children. We give an allowance. Once a person is relieved, then automatically they should be assisted by the PASS program.
A country that doesn't care for the old and the less fortunate is not a country which is moving in the right direction. And a council which is not doing the same is not a council which is moving in the right direction.
The last survey of homeless persons conducted in November 2013 captured 77 of them in Clarendon, making it the parish with the third largest homeless population. So poor relief officers have seen the need to beef up their services in the area. A new poor relief office was opened in Rock River in February 2014. That's in addition to 8 other offices scattered across the parish to ensure officers stay close to the communities they serve. Persons who require assistance can visit the nearest poor relief department, get registered, and wait for a home visit to determine the nature of assistance needed. In addition to that, there's a poor relief committee that works to craft additional programs.
We meet monthly, and whatever we discuss, we notice that there's a lot of improvement at the infirmary and other places around the parish regarding the poor.
This is one initiative that resulted from those meetings, the opening of an activities centre at the parish's infirmary.
Persons tend to underestimate the importance of elderly persons having things to do and contributing to their whole living, their whole livelihood. So we really appreciate and endorse this move.
We've always had residents who do bits and pieces of activity, but then I think if we have it more coordinated, and there's an activity director here, and I think it's a base for her where she can gather all her active residents. They're in one location.
Some have varying levels of ability. So maybe they can crochet, they can use the sewing machine. There's a man here that can make shoes or mats out of the banana bark. They might just want to come in and read editorial in the paper or just do a little painting. But whoever can be engaged to whatever degree, this is the center that they ought to go to. And this will be improved as time goes by.
Added to the $1.3 million spent to upgrade the physical structure of the infirmary in 2013, the center's opening represents another step in the modernization of services to the less fortunate. And the administrators are careful to not neglect the general health of the infirmary's over 138 residents. To ensure they keep in tip-top shape, a weekly schedule of consultations is rotated with a medical professional.
We've got persons with different conditions, hypertensive, diabetic, cardiac, cosmetics, and all that. So doctor couldn't have seen like X amount of persons within a day. So based on that, then he has to come like once per week to ensure that over a period of time, all the residents are seen and treated.
And just next door, the parish council has identified a building which it will be developing as a homeless shelter.
Our vision in Clarendon is to have a center where those persons able to be examined by a medical practitioner, can be able to have a bath, a change of clothes, and even try to re-socialize with society.
Clarendon is able to do all this with the assistance of subventions from the local government and labour ministries, as well as the kind support of its partners. Similar programs exist in all parishes, so if you need assistance or know someone who does, don't hesitate to contact the Board of Supervision, 85 Halfway Tree Road, Kingston 10, telephone 754-0992-9.
Fever, rash, joint pain, and red eyes. All common signs of the Zika virus or ZIKV. Symptoms are usually mild, lasting anywhere from a few days to a week. Jamaica has no Zika cases, but if it gets here, it would only be transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito. Don't give Zika a chance. Prevent the breeding of these pesky mosquitoes.
The use of oil, cooking oil, a little tip of cooking oil poured on the surface of the water suffocates the larvae and prevents them hatching out. So persons can do that.
What does owning a parcel of land mean for you? Empowerment, economic well-being, stability? Whatever the reason, our government continues to fulfill its promise of making sure all Jamaicans have the chance to own a piece of Jamrock.
1,000 residents in the parishes of St. Mary, Portland and St. Anne have benefited from land titles courtesy of the Cadastral Mapping and Land Registration in Jamaica project, an initiative of the Government of Jamaica in collaboration with the Government of Korea through the Korea International Cooperation Agency, KOICA. Today we explore more about this initiative and hear the stories of some of the beneficiaries of this program. So come, take a walk with us.
I want to tell them that I thank them. I love what they are doing because they're doing a great job for Jamaican.
Great job indeed. 2013 saw agreement signed between the Republic of Korea by way of the Korea International Cooperation Agency, KOICA, and Jamaica, represented by the Ministry of Water, Land, Environment and Climate Change. It's for the land titling project that expands the LAMP 2 contract, which was signed with the Koreans in 2010.
The COICA project is basically a spin-off from the LAMP 2 project, which specifically looked at a partnership between the government of Jamaica through LAMP, the Korean Cadastral Surveying Corporation out of Korea, and a private sector partner in Jamaica, Geoland Title Limited.
Through this program, many are getting the tool to access the path of personal empowerment.
Growing up, my father blind, never have a title. I'm dead gone, I couldn't get nothing out of it. Right? And now I have my kids, them can have something.
We decided to focus on land settlements because of their history and context in our Jamaican life. Land settlements are basically lots that would have been allotted to Jamaicans, working class persons years ago. And one of the main challenges that we have had in terms of sorting out titling for these land settlements is that the surveying cost is really prohibitive. So what it is that we're doing is that the Koreans are providing the funding and actually contracting surveyors here in Jamaica to do the survey work so that we can expedite the processing of these titles for persons.
Approximately US $2 million has been pumped into this land titling initiative by our Korean partners.
We, COICA team, assist the LAMP program to accelerate the LAMP process.
The 3 parishes to benefit was decided after extensive study.
Those parishes came out of rigorous discussions with ourselves and our Korean partners. There was a feasibility study done, and there were actually representatives from Korea who came and looked at sites with us, visited sites. We had several of them, and they were the ones who indicated that when they looked in terms of just physical amenities, access to water, light, those were their concerns when you look to see how many children we saw when we went there at the times, whether or not the persons were involved in farming, what kind of work they did. They were the ones who guided us in terms of, okay, we think that these are the areas that we would want to assist you with.
A similar process was used to select the 1,000 beneficiaries to ensure those who needed it the most received the help. Some beneficiaries from Crooked River in Anote Bay, St. Mary, shared how they came to be selected.
Them come and them put up them circle line, and we read the circle and see the necessary information, and we carry the necessary document and got the location, and in the meeting them inform us of what is taking place.
This program benefit me in a good way, because we know that in the coming future we have a title to look forward to, and we can use it to borrow money to do whatever we please.
I'm feeling very, very good, because most of all, having our own title, we can do anything with it. Can go to the bank, borrow money, because me have my little girl. She soon reach college stage, so we can get it to benefit from.
And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me.
My encouragement to parents this Christmas is have a very Merry Christmas, but make it a family Christmas.
And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas.
My most memorable Christmas was, okay, you fill in the blanks. Tamara McHale engaged everyday Jamaicans to hear their most memorable moments.
It's Christmas time again, everyone, so come on and sing along with me. Come on, let's live in unity, yeah.
When all will come together and eat and drink and laugh and shopping and all those things, that is the best.
As a child growing up, my favorite Christmas memories were expecting the gifts on Christmas morning.
For many of us, Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year. filled with our favorite things, food, family, and fun. Let's share some of your most memorable moments.
My mommy made it special for me and my brothers and my sisters. Food, the decorations, the smell of fresh paint.
What else she used to do?
Oh Lord, food, a lot of food. The house, the house we always look forward to, there were a lot of changes. Like at Christmas time, paint up, new curtains, new clothes, church.
Just the Janko time and with Dolly when we little, we wish I was small again. You know the Janko, the pitchy patchy and the devil and the belly woman. You never see them. Follow them to distance. Up and down, follow them all. One at a time, follow them until we are lost. So let me remember about Christmas, baby.
Well, I never got to experience John Kuno, but judging from her laughter, it seems I missed out. Christmas time has always been that time of year though when Barrel come, as family members from overseas would return to Jamaica to bring gifts while sharing the festivities with their loved ones. Is that your favorite memory?
Whenever the family get together, we normally eat dinner, play domino cards, and have a little one-on-one wrestling. So.
Well, back in the days, when it's Christmas time, my mother always them the shopping, always buy me nice shoes, nice pants, nice stuff. I'm like pretty hat.
As a child growing up for Christmas, I remember being at home. It's a time where the family normally come together. Normally, my aunties from overseas would normally come home, and then we would all be there, we'll talk and share.
Generally, we always prepare to go to church. We grew up in church. You go to church in the morning, then in the evening we go Christmas market very early. We go by the waterfront. Those days, we used to have white sailors coming in Jamaica. And when they're downtown, you see them white soldiers in the white clothes, and they look so beautiful.
Sister Mary, put on your best dress. We are going to a Christmas ball. We are going to get things started. Yeah.
We used to love to play with our shibum, and we have a little popgun there with some cork shot. We used to love that. And I used to also love Fifi when you blow it up and make the sound. And also the gas. It's just so excited and nice, nowadays growing up.
Christmas time, in my time, when Christmas was, we used to bust plenty clappers and balloon and them sort of things. Things like those and hide and seek like mud and all them things there. So I just like that, and Christmas was nice.
What I was excited about when I was a child, I would want to go to Grand Market to buy a dolly and stuff like that, and enjoy the excitement of the roast beef and the roast pork and them things there.
I always remembered one Christmas day when my mom came out with the ham glazed with the pineapple and the cherries on top. Delicious. What about you? What are some of your favorite memories surrounding food?
We'll eat up the cake and things will be great. Drink up the wine and things will be fine, yes.
Christmas cake, fried chicken, rice and peas, the sorrel, potato salad, everything, man. A lot of food for Christmas.
On Christmas Day, we would get breakfast in the morning, maybe roast yam and saltfish or something like that, the chocolate tea. And we would have had that, and then you'd expect a large Christmas dinner.
For me personally, I remember growing up as a youth, on Christmas Eve we used to do the rubbing of the butter and sugar together to make the good Christmas fruit cake.
Even the little ones have fond memories of their own when it comes to Christmas food.
The sweet potato pun on Christmas Day, Lord of God, it tastes good.
Me remember last year when my grandmother cooked the pork and everything with the pineapple. It tastes good, not true.
Well, for me, my favorite Christmas memory was caroling early on a Christmas morning with my grandfather in the country. I definitely had a lot of fun hearing your stories. This Christmas, make new memories with your family and your friends. Happy holidays.
I love you all. Merry Christmas to all of you.
It's Christmas time again, everyone. So come on and sing along with me. Come on.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know
has come to make you new. This child that you delivered will soon deliver you.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will calm the storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you kiss your little baby, you kiss the face of God. Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know?
The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praises of the Lamb. Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day rule the nation? Did you know that your
Make it your personal commitment to give more this holiday season and beyond. It could be sharing a few dollars with the Salvation Army reps, helping someone carry their bags, or just sharing a word of encouragement. It's the little things that make the difference. Please send us your comments by emailing jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm and keep informed through our website and social media platforms. Thank you for tuning in to Jamaica Magazine. I am Adrian Atkinson. See you next time.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.